Yo, what's up, everybody? Hold on, I gotta close the door so I'm not annoying. Alright, so I'm gonna make my face huge for a minute. Sick. Um, what's going on, everybody? I'm gonna try to put together a little video for you on some of the changes, just summarize all the changes that are ahead of this fantasy football season. We got a few days left until the draft, super exciting. I guess we'll get right into it. We're starting off with a dynasty. This is a dynasty startup. So we're going to perform our startup draft. It's going to be a huge draft, bigger than normal. I know someone was indicating that, maybe we could do half in person, half um, digitally. Uh, that could work. I would like to get it all done at once if possible, but we'll see how it goes day of on Sunday. So we're going to draft from all the players, rookies, and existing players. Um, That's going to be for the startup draft only. Next year's a different story. We're going to have a draft in probably April, and that's going to be 3 rounds of college players, and those are going to be players added to your team at that point. But we're talking about right now, this season, startup draft. On Sunday, we're going to draft 30 players, okay? Or sorry, take that back, 20 players, okay? Our starting roster is going to be quarterback, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 2 flex positions. Those are going to be wide receiver or running back flexes. 1 super flex, which is running back, wide receiver, tight end, or quarterback, and then 1 tight end. So you can start 2 tight ends, an extra tight end in that super flex position. We're going to change the regular flex to a. Let me see if I can bring up some reference visuals here. The settings. Where are they at? Where are they at? Here they at. Roster settings. All right, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, three wide receivers. We're adding an extra wide receiver, mandatory starting to just kind of like pull in some of those, tier 3 wide receivers, force you to make a little bit more decisions. 1 tight end, 2 flex. Again, we're not taking away the tight end flex possibility. We're just adding a super flex, so you can still flex in a second tight end if you want. It's just going to be part of the super flex. Some people might do that. They might go for a two big name tight end flex or add a second quarterback. It's really up to you. I have no idea what's best. I've read some things, but I'm no expert. That's for sure. I'm sorry, my camera's covering a little bit of it, but there you go. I did do a poll a little while ago, and it looks like everybody had decided that, or at least majority decided that kicker and defense we're gonna say see you later. So that's a big F's in the chat for kickers and defense. I know some of us still like it. We'll give it a shot. If we find that it's lacking, for some reason we want kicker and defense back, we could always do a kicker and defense draft after a couple years. It would be a fun, stupid little thing that we could do. But for now, we're going to go without that. We're going to focus purely on position players for the Dynasty League. Big thing is, let me scroll down here, bench players is 10, so it's a little bit larger than normal, so there's going to be 20 rounds of draft. And to follow that up, there's going to be 2 taxi spots. So those are players. I'm going to go to the settings here. Taxi spots are players that you don't have on your active roster. So they're kind of like, it's intended to be rookies and first-year players that you want to see how they do, see how they progress, but you don't want to have them take up a roster spot. So how it works is you can pull the taxi squad locks at the first game of the year, so anyone on that squad in the first game of the year can't be started, but they also don't count towards your 20 player roster maximum. The deal with taxi squad is you can pull someone from your taxi squad to your main roster if you have an open spot, but you can't put them back. So it's kind of a one-way ticket. If someone's popping off, you can slide them to the main roster. big thing is players with more than 1 year of experience in the NFL must be activated from the taxi squad. So 1 year or less, um, only players can be on the taxi squad. I'm sure the app will mandate that for you. It won't let you put anyone on there who has 2 years or over a year. That should be it for rosters. Scoring wise, the biggest thing is the tight end premium, which we're going to try out. I've heard a lot of people doing this for Dynasty. Basically, a tight end is going to get an extra half point per reception. Let me see if we have that here. Receiving reception bonus. Okay, so whereas everybody, running backs, wide receivers, anyone else, Tom Brady, if he catches the ball, he's going to get a half point per reception. But if it's a tight end, they're going to get a full point per reception. So that's going to try to elevate some of those mid to low tier tight ends, try to get them in par with wide receivers and running backs. It's going to inflate, your Kelce's and your Mark Andrews, all them. Those guys are going to get a little bit higher as well. So draft accordingly. That should be it for rosters. Let's see. Let's go to the dynasty settings. I'm gonna drop a little Microsoft Paint here. So we're gonna go with the format of this dynasty league. We're gonna have some end in sight. It's not gonna go on forever and ever. That's a little daunting to me for first time. So we're gonna go with this cool thing that I saw called Empire Mode. Basically, first person who can form, the Patriots Empire, the Patriots Dynasty is going to be the champion of the Dynasty League. We're going to have one winner every year. It's going to be the normal prize structure, but a few dollars from everybody's entry is going to go into the Empire Pool. So basically, let me draw it out. Empire Pool. There you go. We're using Microsoft Paint here. We're gonna paint a little bit. So basically, we're gonna track championships year by year. First team to win 4 championships total. That's gonna be the winner, the empire, the team that established their empire. And if this happens, it's pretty crazy, but you never know. So I'm assuming it's gonna be this first one that is what happens. But this could happen too. We're going to say anyone who wins 3 in a row. So if you can pop off 3 years in a row and someone else already has 3, and they're trying to win their 4th, but you come off with a crazy roster, you draft a crazy rookie in the first round, it's just, Saquon Barkley of old, 30 points a week, and you win 3 championships in a row on their back. You are the Empire winner, and you will collect all of the money in the Empire Pool at that point. So we'll say maybe if it's $5 from each person per year, that's $60 a year. So realistically, probably no one's going to pop off 3 in a row to start it. So I mean, that's at least $180. This thing could get big. I mean, we've been playing for years and years. I don't see any stop now. We've got a good group. Assuming Greg answers the fucking phone and joins in. If not, we'll fill a spot with someone chill, no doubt. Yeah, that's it. As far as the Empire Pool. Let me see. Do we have any other questions? Let me pull up Sleeper. I'm gonna decide draft order right now. This video is cool for anyone who I have the Ultimate Draft Kit for fantasy footballers. I'm gonna throw it up real quick and I'll give it a listen for you guys. Anyone who's maybe new to Dynasty, it's a little brief overview. Hopefully you guys can hear it. I'll play it right now.
We're so excited to bring you a complete set of Dynasty startup rankings. We wanted to share some first-time advice. If you're joining a startup for the first time, if you want some insight to using these rankings, we got some tips, we got some tricks.
Yeah, one of the tips that I would say is don't go crazy on overvaluing age. Now, age will matter. You're going to have this roster forever. So what position you draft makes a big deal, right? Running backs, they fall off quick in their careers. So usually in a dynasty startup, wide receivers go earlier. Quarterbacks might go a little earlier, but I don't think you need to overdo it. But we have included an age breakdown to the decimal. So they're not just, one guy's 32 and one guy's 31, but they're 2 days apart in their actual birthday. You can tell how old a guy is. We just want to make sure you don't discount production. Go win a title this year and every year. Don't go crazy on age and end up with a bunch of 20-year-olds that will give you the first pick in next year's draft.
And one of the reasons you might notice that there's an absence of tier breakdowns in the dynasty rankings compared to the other rankings. And one of the reasons is because the objective of every dynasty owner is a little bit different. I actually recommend when you print out these dynasty rankings that you predefine some of your own tiers based on your objectives and your roster. If you have a team that you want to focus on the near term, your tier breakdowns are going to be a lot different than somebody that's a midterm or long-term dynasty player. So you can kind of set forth your goal as a dynasty player however you see fit. If you want to mix those players up, if you want to have a team that you build a dynasty for the long-term future, dynasty is a lot about flexibility. It's about being your own GM. It's about running a team the way you want to run it. We're breaking down the dynasty rankings so that you have an idea of where we see and value guys. But again, you want to bring these in and make them your own.
And I wanted to talk about just a couple things. My couple quick tips. Number one, veterans. Jason had already said don't overemphasize age, but I'm re-emphasizing that point. Later on in your startup draft, there are going to be quarterbacks who are just left for the scraps. There are going to be productive players available who are going to be perceived as old, busted, but you know that these guys still have a couple years left, so do not be afraid to grab them. And the other thing is, you may have heard this, wide receivers are more valuable than running backs in Dynasty. That is 100% correct. That is the philosophy I buy into. The turnover at the running back position is massive. If you hit on a stud wide receiver, they are with you for a very, very long time. So do not go crazy when it comes to running backs in those first few rounds. You're going to be able to find value, and you're going to be able to replenish that stock in your rookie drafts.
So enjoy the dynasty rankings. If you have any questions, concerns, feedback, click the support button.
All right, guys, so that's pretty cool breakdown. There's some rankings there I'm going to use because I paid for them. You can pay for them too if you want. Not going to give away my secrets since I've never fucking won a championship. Got to do everything I can. Basically, age is important. I know our boy Steve, we were hanging out in Discord the other night. He fired up a mock draft and was kind of surprised to see quarterbacks flying off in the first round. That's what it's going to be, quarterbacks, especially with two. The possibility to start two in a given week. Probably most of the starting quarterbacks in the league are going to be rostered. So that's going to really put an emphasis on trading if you want. If you have a quarterback problem, you might have to dish out a position player, another position player to get a fix your quarterback problems. Age is a thing. If we're going to be using these rosters for 3-4 years, you got to watch out. Your Zeke Elliott's, man. How many more years does he have? Maybe you could squeak out a couple, but then where do you go from that? Just things to think about. It'll be really interesting, I think. We've been playing this for a long time together. Interesting next step for us. Super fun. I think that's it. If anyone has any other questions on roster stuff, post it in the chat. I mean, Sleeper's got a big update. I like it. The desktop setup's a little better. They're still working on it always. Let's see. Anything big? Draft or trading. Trading's gonna be. There's still gonna be a trade deadline in the season. But once the championship is over, then it kind of opens up again to trade, drop, add as you want. It's gonna be open all year long. So I'll probably have that same week. Probably whatever the default trade deadline is, because we really trade picks aren't really a big thing anymore. I mean, they are. I mean, trading for future draft picks is a big thing, but we're not gonna kind of set that restriction that we had with week 4. Because fire sailing, if you're fire sailing, you're gonna get what, a couple picks in the rookie draft, and I mean you might get a Trevor Lawrence, but who knows if he'll pan out. So I don't. Fire sailing really isn't a strategy. Unless it's like an absolute baller rookie class and you're like really trying to go young, but even then, no guarantee. As a Jets fan, no guarantee in the draft. Although Zachy Wilson's looking pretty good. So we can set order. I've got a cool way to do it. I got a marbles on stream, and if you're not familiar with that, I named a bunch of marbles after everyone in the league. Pulling it up now. So we got everyone named here. Team 12 is because Greg won't answer his goddamn phone or a message or anything, except he said maybe in the Facebook chat. So if anyone talks to Greg, figure out what he's doing for me, please. Or else we're gonna have to. We'll take applications. If anybody knows anybody. So basically, this is gonna be everyone's got a marble, and the first person to get down to the end, we'll say, is going to have first choice of their draft slot, and we'll go down the order until then, until we fill all the spots. Hopefully, Team 12 doesn't finish first, because then we have to wait till whoever gets that spot in the league. But we'll see how it goes. So let's start it up. This is the first time for me running this, so I don't know if it's going to break or if it's going to run the way I intend it to, but we'll see. So I'm going to hit start. Woo. How do I follow? Oh, God. Follow. Top 10. 1. Okay. We'll go number 1. Steve's in the... Or no. 1. That's not true. Snap 2. So I'm assuming it looks like Anino's in the front, although everyone's coming through different things. Yeah. Hard to read. I don't know. The buttons aren't super clear, but it looks like everyone's trying to get down to this spirally thing. It looks like ZK's down in there first, but anything could change. Mr. Chris and Justin following up. ZK in the lead. Mr. Chris and Justin following quick over to the boost pads. ZK. Oh, Team 12, of course, dude. I knew it, right? Team 12 is gonna. Okay, into the first little loop-de-doops here. Team 12 and Mr. Chris / Justin. Neck and neck. Hit the little peg. Gotta watch out for the pegs there. Everyone's hitting the peg. Oh, look at me. I'm flying in. Mr. Chris and Justin. Let's go back to the beginning. Who's in last? We got Paulie in last, and followed by Mr. Steve and Joel. But anything can happen with the pegs. Ooh, and the spinny comb. The spinny comb's always huge. Okay. So 1 is supposed to bring me to whoever's in first, but it's definitely not doing that. Top 10. All right, I'm going to slow it down for a bit. HUD, player card, sprint, snap 2, swap camera, names, left alt. Oh, I guess 0 is first. Oh, wow. So looks like we got Mr. Chris and Justin and Mr. Chris, other Mr. Chris, 2 Mr. Chris's. I wish I could get there. This is annoying, huh? Can I just go free, young, wild, and free? Oh, we're going young, wild, and free. We got Mr. Chris and Mr. Nino slinging down. No end in sight. Also, no obstacles in sight here. Oh, we got a comb, though. Comb could be devastating. Both seem to be making it through. Of course, I flew right by, naturally, right? Let's just hang on me. Let's hang here. Look at me. If this is a sign of things to come for Dynasty mode, then I'm okay with it. You know? Right through the bumps. Oh, geez. This is gonna be rough, huh? I think I'm going around the outside. Around the outside, around the outside. Not bad. Chris and Nildy. Team 12 right behind. Nice straightaway. Mr. Chris is crushing it. I would like to check out the back, but I don't want to mess up my ability to look at the front either. These pegs are getting crazy. I'm getting a little nervous. Mr. Chris is flying. Of course I get pegged. Get pegged hard. Oh, but Chris got pegged too. Nildy's flying through the bumps. This is gonna come to the wire here. Team 12 and Mr. Chris following up 3rd and 4th. Uh-oh, this could be rough. We got bumps followed by pegs, and I think this might be the end. See who makes it through. Nildy goes clean through. That looks like number 1 for Nildy, number 2 for me, number 3 for Team 12, 4 for Mr. Chris. Steve and Mr. Jim and Brock coming for 5, 6, and 7. That's Steve, Mr. 5. Brock 7. ZK and Nino neck and neck for 8 and 9. It looks like a Nino first, and followed by ZK. Paul 10. And Locke and Joel. Look at that. All right, that was interesting. Big fan. Love the marbles. So we'll screenshot this. We got this. Got that captured for all eternity. You guys, it'll be immortalized in this video as well. I should have some music on. Why didn't you guys tell me, huh? Oh, I did. Why isn't that playing? Oh, there we go. All right, that was pretty cool. Nice 4 minutes. So basically, you can pick your slot, Nildy. You can pick first, 12th, whatever you're feeling like. I'll go next, and we'll go down the line until all the spots are picked. I think that's it. Basic entry cost will be $100. I'll post everyone can send it to Venmo. Prize breakdown will be pretty much exactly how it normally is. We'll do a weekly high score prize. That'll be like $10 per week. We'll do high scoring on the year gets a prize, and then pay out to first, second, and third. Consolation bracket will get a prize as well as I guess that's it. Normally the consolation winner would pick their slot in the next draft, but it's going to be draft order for the rookie draft is going to be in reverse order of standing. So if you come in last, you're going to get first pick. So that's the benefit there. Probably just a prize for consolation. If we want to do a last place punishment, something cool like spend a large amount of time in like an IHOP or a Taco Bell or something, and you have to eat your way out of it. I thought that was really cool. If you guys want to post anything like that in the chat, definitely feel free. I'm down for whatever. Let's see what else. I'll post a breakdown of the prize structure just so it's clear before the season starts. But it'll be $100 entry, like always. What else we got? Playoffs. I guess one last thing, playoffs. And this is a question. I just read something cool about it. Playoffs. Normally we do top 6 based on head-to-head record, which is typical. I did read an alternative way to do this would be top 5 head-to-head make it, and then the 6th team to make the playoffs would be the team with the highest total points that isn't already in the playoffs. So it kind of gives a way for a team who maybe has gotten, the short end of the stick head-to-head, a way to get in the playoffs, because that's always a feel-bad situation, although that's life. I'm down for whatever. I'd be curious. I'll post a poll. I'd be curious to hear everyone's opinion on that. We still have time to decide that one. Drafts in 6 days on Sunday. Anyone who wants to come over and to the parents' house and join, we'll have some pizza, some chicken wings, beers, whatever you're into, some sody pops. Hope to see as many of you guys here as possible. My dad just put together a nice little fire pit. We can chill out on the new porch that he put together as well. I'm looking forward to a good season and a good dynasty with the boys. Let's keep the chat popping all throughout the year if possible. I know you guys, a lot of people mute it once the off season hits, but I'm hoping we keep this thing active and fun, man. 'Cause I love fantasy. I love the arguments on the trades. I want to see tons of trades. Looking forward to it. Post anything in the chat, man, that you have any questions on. That's it. See ya. Go Jets.